I'm Brian Cameron and I'm here with Bill Hargreaves, who worked on Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
You say worked, we went in every day. I don't know that we really worked on it, but we certainly went in every day and did a bit.
Had fun with it.
Had fun with it, yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell us go right back to the start and tell us a little bit about how you got into the industry?
How I got into it, being a nosy kid, really. I went in to see my brother-in-law in Pinewood Studios. There was a carpenter there. Started chatting to the blokes over there, really. Harry Lang was there, who was a designer, but also he was involved with NASA at some point with rocket engines. A very clever man. And he said, got to come up to Shepperton Studios and meet the team over there. We're doing a film called Alien. And I said, oh yeah, God, come over and have a look. I said, it's not really my job, I don't do film work, but I'll have a look. And that's really where it started. I went over, met the crew on Alien, and started working in the prop department there.
Yeah. That would have been Dave Jordan?
Dave Jordan,
worked on Star Wars himself?
Yeah, very good friend of mine, Dave. Dead and gone now, I'm afraid, but he became a really, really close friend.
Yeah. What kind of work did you do on Alien?
Alien's prop maker.
Yeah.
Now, I can tell you anything I like on Alien, because there's 4 prop makers and the other 3 are dead, so I can take credit for everything if you like, but basically we did all the door panels for opening doors and shutting them, stuff that they carried. The flamethrowers, we'd done all the special effects, they didn't need the prop men to do that, but so we did all the general everyday stuff, if you like, because it made it more real, because you've got to be able to have cups and saucers and plates and knives, so they all had alien insignia on them, and so we did that. So it wasn't particularly hard work, but it was quite fun because she was on something that was new and never been done before. And I have to say, a lot of the sets were very dark. They were very, dark as in sinister.
Yeah.
Very eerie to work on.
It was a very different feel of a film compared to what we'd seen before.
Very much so, yeah, very much so. And nice to be in sort of on the ground floor. So really, that was my introduction into the film industry. So when I went on to Empire Strikes Back, I think I took some of that darkness with me.
Yeah.
So that's why the droids I did were very dark and sinister. They weren't happy C-3PO droids, they were, or comedy R2 droids, they were dark droids. They were, going to kill you and going to hurt you, and I can assume it came from Alien.
Yeah. Was it Frank Burton that you were with on Alien? Who brought
Frank
Bruton,
yeah. Yeah, he was the prop master on that. Very, very strict, old school prop master, who I think I broke him in the end. Yeah. It was, he was very, almost you had to Mr. Bruton to talk to him. Yeah. And I'd go and say, got the kettle on, Frank? He'd go, oh, you're a bloody nuisance, boy. He says, come in and sit down. So, broke the mould a little bit there. But he was a really nice guy. A lot of the other prop men didn't like him, but I thought he was great. I thought he was great fun.
And he was on Empire?
He was on Empire and Jedi,
Yeah, so you would have worked for him alongside him for quite some time?
A couple of years, yeah. Yeah, I think I did 30 months on Empire, 12 on Jedi. Yeah. So, long time. So you get to know people.
And it would have been Norman Reynolds on Empire, would it have been?
It was, yeah, indeed. On both,
What was the experience of working on him?
He was fantastic, I really enjoyed him. Yeah. He was, I wouldn't say new, but he was a little unsure to start with, but he was great. But he gave you a lot of freedom to do what you wanted to do, and great. I can't really think of anybody there that wasn't nice. Yeah. Couldn't.
You would have been the prop store would have been at Borehamwood. That be right?
So Peter Spencer ran the prop store
all the way through from Empire, all the way through Jedi. Was it almost non-stop?
It was, An awful lot of the stuff wasn't kept because a lot of the stuff we used for set dressing and for me to build droids and things was aircraft salvage stuff, and basically they bought it in by weight at the start of the film and sold it by weight at the end of the film to recoup some money. So, because people say to me, where's RG-88? I went, it's melted down into something now, but can't tell you what. But it went back to the breakers and was melted down. And
there was always a story you always hear about the prop shop there, and it was at Harrison Ford was a big fan of you guys over there and used to visit, play darts with him.
He used to come into the workshop and play darts occasionally, yeah. He's a really nice guy, and I think sometimes you just needed to get away from the hubbub of everything that was going on, because the film set's very busy.
Yeah.
There's lots going on, and if you want to be quiet, it's not the place to be. Yeah. So he used to come over and
you always
get out of the way.
You make sure you bet him.
He wasn't that good at darts, I have to say. Yeah, he wasn't that good. My friend Brian said, I'll play and I'll use nails instead of darts, and he still beat him. So he wasn't very good, but pleasure to see him, and yeah, good fun.
One of the iconic characters you created, IG-88.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the creation process for him?
Basically, I was given a format of, we need a bounty hunter droid. Yeah. I went, and whatever you want. They said there's going to be a lineup, just needs to stand there, not a problem. So I just started, and his head is part of a Derwent aero engine, and lots of people say, oh no, it came from the cantina. Well, no, it didn't. There are similar units in there, probably identical, but they all went back and were salvaged after the first one, or after 4. So I hadn't seen, sorry fans, I hadn't seen Star Wars at all when I started on Empire. So I came in with quite a new eye, if you like, that nothing was influenced by anything. And I went to the breakers over at Hayes and was looking around. I thought, oh, that looks interesting, I'll have that. And chucked that in my cart and brought that back. And when they said about a bounty hunter droid, I thought, oh, where's that bit? And I thought, yeah, that might be good. That might have a nice head. That's an unusual shape. So I put it on a 6-inch water main pipe and just stood it up in the air and thought, yeah, that'll do it. I'll add to that. And that's basically how it started. There was no drawings for it. And Norman just said, oh, carry on. He said, that's, it'll be what it'll be. And he came in during the process and went, do you think we could? I said, yeah, I'll add some bits for it if you want. It's not. So that was basically how it derived. It wasn't drawn. It was drawn afterwards, much to the annoyance of the draftsman. I had to add all the bits in for the toy company. But that's, so it was quite a, I don't know what you'd call it now, an organic process. It was, but basically
it must have been fun to have that freedom though to...
Oh, fantastic, yeah. What do you do for a job? No, I don't do a job, I just muck about and put a few bits together, and it's very, very enjoyable. When there's something about when somebody's got confidence in you, and they say, oh no, you can do that, you think, yeah, I can do that, yeah, that's good, I'll do that. It's very nice.
One of the stories that is always spoken about was the sort of financial difficulties and challenges of the first Star Wars film. But people often forget that even on Empire, with it being self-funded, the budget was incredibly tight.
Oh, so very, very tight.
What kind of things did you kind of get up to in terms to beg and borrow? Where did you go hunting for?
All over the studio. Yeah, nothing was sacred. Yeah. If I could find it and steal it, I used to steal it and use it. Yeah. It got to a point where they didn't really have any money left. So everything had to be made out of what you'd got, or what you could steal, or what you could borrow, or it was, so it was back to start with scavengers, and that just,
Was there anything unusual ended up inside one of the creatures, or?
It depends which one you're referring to. You'll have to give us a clue.
Well, let's start with IG-88.
That had all sorts of bits in it. That had engine parts in it. Had a part of a toilet in there. Anything that I thought was a nice shape, I'd work a way of getting it in and using it. And a lot of the stuff was stuff that Mike Ford had brought in for set dressing. And he'd laid stuff out for set dressing and bits were missing. He'd go, that's him again. So I'd go, oh, they're good, I'll take them. And off I'd go and use them. So I don't know if that's what you referred to, the toilet parts in IG-88. Yeah, there was. Which is why I met one of the cosplayers and he said, I don't know if you realise what this is. I said, yeah, it's part of a toilet. I said, good shapes, aren't they? So I used them in IG-88. And there was, these shoulder pads are packing pieces that came in, that had some globe packed in them, and I nicked them and put them on. I thought they'd be quite good as shoulder pads. And so a lot of salvage, should we say, yeah.
The fast forwarding to Return of the Jedi, you were involved with the Bomar monk.
Yeah.
Big, big sort of puppet.
It was a massive rig we put up, 60 foot wide by 28 foot high, on a big line over the top, and it was pulled along on what I call an endless, which is a line that goes front of the buggy, back of the buggy, and it's pulled across and pulled back by a rig at one end, set of pulleys on the floor, and that's how it moved. Now I had 3 guys up in there that were operating, only had 6 legs.
Yeah.
So each leg moved, so they just had a line down to each leg. They had a bit of broom handle actually in there, and they'd do that all in time with each other, and it looked like it was galloping across. The funniest bit was bringing it back, because they used to pick the legs up and it'd fly backwards. So I thought it was great. I thought they should have filmed it like that. Yeah. But yeah, that was made with water pipes and a couple of door hinges off of a Boeing whatever, which made the pincers at the front. The sphere that the brain went in the front were a couple of bits of architectural mouldings that I used just to make the whole sphere. There were 2 hemispheres, 2 halves, and put them together. The back of it, which made the sort of bulk, if you like, of the spider, was in the 60s. You had these paper lampshades that were quite big and hung in the middle of your room, never bumped their head on. It was one of them that was squashed up a bit and painted, and so cost about £2 to put on there, I should think it was. But that was, you know, that's filmmaking really. It doesn't have to cost $1 million, just has to look like it. That's, you know.
And one of my favourite moments from the Return of the Jedi is the eye that comes out the door in Jabba's palace. It kind of symbolises the sort of fun humour you get in a Star Wars film, and that was one of your creations.
That was one of my creations with Steve, who was working with me. We operated that as well on the day. Dave, the first assistant, said, "Well done, boys, you got so close to 3PO without hitting him." I said, "Yeah, that was all planned, Dave." I said, "I couldn't see a bloody thing out that doorway." I said, "That was just knowing roughly where he was and aiming." And he went, "Oh, well, thank God you didn't hit him." I went, "It might have made an interesting scene." But that was pure. I mean, we were all in black. You're looking through a hole that big. You've got a thing that's 12 foot long trying to operate it. And he stood just off there. I couldn't see him. I couldn't get round and I thought, well, he's about there. Whatever. Look, I thought if I do hit him, I'll know. So yeah, that was good fun though. That was, and, improvisation.
I guess it would it have been unusual then for guys from the props to have actually been involved?
Yeah, very much so, yeah.
So that must have been a lot of fun for you to get onto the set. And especially such a fun scene as well.
Oh yeah, and that was basically because everybody else went, "No, I'm not interested, don't want to get involved with that." Too many things can go wrong. But if you don't worry about it, the chances are it won't go wrong. Yeah. Just do it, and you know, if it does go wrong, you soon know. You know, and what's the worst they can do? Sack you. Yeah. That was, you know.
Yeah, and of course there's a brand new Star Wars film in the cinemas, the Solo film, and they make mention of the Minox, which
that was
under yours.
I'm not sure who made the main body of it. That was a bit I stole from Stuart Freeborn's, so I think it was going to be something else. But when this Minox bird came out, I thought, well, I can add bits to that, I can add wings to it, I can make it work, and it worked basically as a hand puppet. So when you see the mouth operating, that's my hand up there just doing that really, and we had a pipe in there to pump the fluid out, which was basically release fluid for a milling machine, so it was white and stuck quite well, and that again was another sort of, they were scripted but not particularly the way they were used. I think they were just going to be seen as things flying about, and then somebody said, "Oh, it'd be nice if they landed," and did. So that's where that came from, and that was just good fun. And the wings were made out of latex. People said, "How did you colour them?" Well, I burnt them, basically. I put a heater on them and just waited till they were getting a bit crispy, and I thought, well, that looks like leather or wing, and so that's how they came about.
Have you got, out of all the creations you've built, have you got a favourite, one that you're particularly fond of?
Oh, I mean, for everybody listening, I'd just say IG-88, because that's the most famous one. That's sort of brought me back into doing things. But I enjoyed Beaumont Monk, that was fun. I enjoyed doing the eye, that was really good. There is a a droid in the back of Jabba the Hutt's palace playing a one-armed bandit.
Okay.
And that was really good fun to do, but you hardly see it. You've got to really concentrate to try and find it. But that was really good fun because we built that so it could be a full puppet robot. It's very light, and you could operate it from above and walk it, but they didn't need it to do that, so we just stuck it on a stand and it was playing the one-armed bandit, which that whole scene with the torturing and everything is a bit surreal.
Yeah.
It's like the cars torture cars, so
Yeah.
it was all a bit surreal, a bit strange, but it was good fun. Yeah, it was great to do. It was, fun. So, yeah, I've got to say IG-88, but there was a few that I'm quite fond of.
Okay. Well, it's been great speaking with you here today at Granite City Comic Con.
It's been a pleasure.
And great finding out a little bit more about the background to some of these creations from Empire and Jedi.
There's a few little bits. I can't tell you everything, but and the fact I've got no money, I can't afford to be sued.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.